The body count from Labor's election massacre keeps growing, and for the party's Kingslayer PM, perhaps the sweetest of all, he's now taken out not one, but two rival party leaders.
A short time ago, I called the Labor candidate for Melbourne, Sarah Witty, to concede, to congratulate her and to wish her all the best as the next member for Melbourne.
It's proving to be a victory for the ages. King Albanese not just defending his throne, but beheading other rival political parties in the process.
There's now a swathe of seats where Labor MPs owe their political life to Liberal preferences. And the Greens are there in those seats as the real opposition to the two-party system.
This has to be the sweetest victory of all.
While the Liberals have been forced to retreat, the Greens have been defiant in the face of loss.
This record high result in the Senate is something that we are incredibly proud of.
I think it's going to be a tough job for the Greens because they are going to have less manpower and less resources. But there is no way that you could look at this election, even though a lot of people voted for the Greens, and say it was a success.
While the Greens will likely hold their 11 Senate seats, in the lower house, their 4 seats will likely be reduced to 1, spelling the end of Stephen Bates, firebrand Max Chandler-Mather, and leader Adam Bandt. Their primary vote was down by about 200,000 ballots. A now former Queensland MP railing against his now former workplace.
One of the things I'm quite happy about at the moment is I don't have to spend more time in the House of Representatives. It was bloody awful. I remember where basically half the Labor front bench was there in Parliament just screaming at me, like calling me a joke and an idiot. I remember walking back into my office and almost throwing up out of stress.
Drawing a quick response from the PM.
Maybe what he needs is a mirror and a reflection on why he's no longer in Parliament.
The party now forced to work out what went wrong.
My initial take is that some votes leaked away from us as people saw Labor as the best option to stop Dutton.
It may be that it is more about asking a question of why people have gone back to the Labor Party, whether that's Medicare, Donald Trump, Peter Dutton's policy on nuclear power. It may just be that they weren't effective enough at courting new votes.
So as the Greens count the cost of a bruising election, what's next for Australia's third party?
Well, Green Senator Mehreen Faruqi is with us now. Senator, I understand it's been a difficult day, so thanks for your time. What went wrong for your party?
Well, thank you so much for having me. And yes, it has been a day full of emotions for me and my party room, and of course, the thousands of Greens members who Adam has led with such grace, with such integrity, with such principle, and with passion and compassion. And we are so proud of Adam and, what he has achieved in the 5 years as leader. And I have to say that it has been an honor for me to serve with Adam for the last 6 years in my time in Parliament, because he has put so many important issues on the national agenda: action on climate, renters' rights, human rights, and so much more. So, yeah, it has been a really emotional day, and, it is not something that we expected at all. And yeah, it'll be a tough few more days. But when you talk about what went wrong, I guess the party will sit down and we will look at what went right and what went wrong. But it is clear that a lot of progressive Australians who were quite anxious about a Peter Dutton government, about, those Trumpian policies that Peter Dutton and the Liberals wanted to bring in, and about a pretty hateful, divisive campaign, which was punching down on migrants and First Nations people, did actually move away and voted for Labor. But I think you also have to see that those same voters voted for the Greens in the Senate, where we have all retained our seats and we are in the sole balance of power. Yeah. So they have actually given us the responsibility to make sure that we carry on with the bold vision that we presented at the election.
So, Senator, it is interesting that the Senate vote is intact. It's also interesting that basically wherever the Greens had MPs in the lower house, that's where they seem to suffer the worst swings. So clearly there was something about the people who had Greens representatives that they obviously weren't satisfied or they wanted to go elsewhere. Is it possible that the Greens are just an upper house party and that's where Australia wants them and that's their best role within the Parliament?
Well, Australia, definitely, it's clear, Walid, you're right, that Australian people want the Greens to be in the Senate fighting for them. But I think there were particular circumstances in this elections. All our lower house MPs have really represented their communities with so much passion and integrity and fighting for what their community wanted them to fight for. I think we do have to think about how we retain and gain lower house seats, because the two major parties will join forces, as they did this time, to keep us out. So maybe we need to look at and think about a strategy where we gain those seats in our own right, without the two party needing any of the two parties. So, we will sit down, we'll talk to our colleagues and our members and our supporters and think about a strategy. But I don't accept that the people of Australia don't want us in the lower house. We have many lower house seats in state parliaments, and we still have one in the federal parliament as well. And Adam was in his seat for 15 years.
Now, the Prime Minister has been highly critical of the Greens blocking housing policy. He's told you guys to get out of the way on this now. Will you?
Well, the Prime Minister and the Labor Party are doing double time in trying to pressure the Greens to just acquiesce to their agenda or rubber stamp what the Labor Party wants. I think the Prime Minister needs to know that that's not how democracy works. Millions of voters in this country voted for the Greens this election, and they have put us back in the Senate with a very strong vote. And they actually want us to fight for the bold vision that we took to the election, the vision on renters' rights, on acting on the climate crisis,
Senator, can I just
acting against the genocide in Gaza.
Just quickly, though, while we have you, did those stands you took on housing were ultimately led in the end to a close to total capitulation and Labor ultimately getting a lot of what they wanted through? Did that hurt? Did the Greens' votes suffer ultimately because of the grandstanding on those issues?
Well, we did get through us holding out and really pressuring Labor. Labor put in $3.5 billion in community and social housing, which they actually weren't going to do. So we did push Labor to do better. We did get them to act. And, we negotiated till the last minute. And when we knew that this negotiation wasn't going to work, we kind of decided that we had done enough. And we couldn't pressure Labor any further, and we would come back in the next Parliament and think about how to make things better for renters, for first home buyers. People are really struggling, Walid. And, like I said, it would be a betrayal from the Greens, who have been put there in the Senate in a very strong position by millions of voters, to not keep fighting for that bold vision that we took to the election.
It will be a fascinating Parliament to watch unfold, especially with new leadership. Senator Faruqi, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much.